Okay, so raw and unfiltered. I was working in the house all day. Wait, where's my camera? Right there. Okay, I just want to know where to look. Uh, but I'm just gonna take you for a walk with me because here's what was on my mind. But first, you gotta look around a little bit. A lot of the trees have lost their leaves, except for a few. Uh, and then of course we have this beautiful apple tree. We don't spray any of them. So anyway, let me aim in the camera that way. But you see how most of the leaves are gone, but then I have this beautiful, let's see if I can, red maple right there. Even in that one too, it's not even completely changed. And this used to be a farm years ago. I think we'll go sit on my sunset bench together so I could finish this unfiltered video. But here's what I was thinking about with that tree. This used to be farmland, and when this pond was dug, all of the fill was landscaped around, and this was farmland, so it's very fertile soil. And it's interesting to me how long the nutrients last in the soil, by the way. I don't know anything about that. Don't know anything about it. Anyway, so those two maples, well, three actually, because there's another tall silver maple that hasn't even, it might just turn yellow in fall. Let's see if I can show you that, but that one's a red and that one's a silver. So, and these are my favorites, by the way, these white pine trees. They tower, in Michigan, they tower above, like if you look over here. Okay, I wasn't going to take you on a tour of the whole yard, but I'll bring you over here too before we sit on our sunset bench together, and I'll tell you the rest of the story, what was on my mind and what I thought would be helpful to you and to me, actually. But I've learned this lesson already, but I'm hoping that what I have to say helps you because it's kind of important. I'm gonna see if I'm zoomed. Oh, there we go, that's better. I zoomed in on my face. I'm like, dude, oh. My husband likes to play with his landscaping. He has a talent, and he won't admit it. He doesn't think it's a talent or a gift, but what he touches, everything is beautiful. All these tubes are maple trees, so this will be like a maple lane here. There's sugar maples and red maples. But this giant white pine tree, it's one of my favorites. Look at that thing. And we put a fancy, but it was struck by lightning a couple years ago. Right here, see it's starting to heal over. But my husband saved it by painting it with this resin that he puts on. It's pruning. I don't know what it's called. I think it's pruning resin. So that it wouldn't bleed out, and it's surviving. It's so beautiful. But in Michigan, these guys tower over all the other trees. When you're driving along, you'll see the beautiful, colorful maple. Well, this time of year now, most of them, the leaves are down, except in my yard. It's so beautiful. Anyway, so now what you'd see a lot of is the yellow trembling aspens and stuff like that. They are like one of the last to lose their leaves. But they tower over. I mean, you'll see those white pines just towering over because they grow so fast and big. And if you ever come up here, up in Copper Harbor, there's a Estivant Pine Sanctuary. And if you go for a walk on there, you're going to see some huge pines. I couldn't even believe it. They were some of the biggest yellow birch trees that I'd ever seen in my life, too. So pretty. Anyway, these guys, they're so pretty. I love the smell of pine too. And here's this giant red maple, and it's still got its leaves and it's still beautiful with color. Okay, we'll go over here and I'll tell you the story. that was in my head. And here's what it is. So these maples were planted in really rich soil. And if you put your mind, if you cultivate your mind with really rich nutrients, everything you touch will be better. So we made it to my sunset bench. We have 2 benches on each side of the pond. This one's for sunsets. I'll turn the camera around. You can see, maybe you can't because the sun's shining right there. You might not see it, but I'll turn it around anyway. Maybe you can see it. Right over there. I can't see where I'm pointing, but that's my sunrise bench because the sunrise comes up behind me on this hill. So if I'm not leaving the house before sunrise, I might sit on that bench and see it. So anyway, if you don't cultivate, well, my phone's right in front of my face. It doesn't matter. This is an unfiltered video, which means I'm just blabbing and hoping that I get a point across. I promised in the very beginning of the year, I made a promise that I would do these every once in a while and just blurt out what I'm thinking and what's helped me and hope that it helps you. I call them unfiltered because I'm not going to edit these. I'm just going to throw them up there. Anyway, I say that every time. I don't need to say that every time. I'm babbling. Let me get to the point. The rich soil is feeding your mind with positive things. Positive, and I don't want to sound like, one time somebody said the term to me, toxic positivity. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? Isn't positivity good? And it is, but there's a nuance. I don't like holding my camera. I like having it in its, I should have brought my tripod out here. Anyway, feeding your mind with the positivity is not toxic if it's not fake. And because, okay, so what I've learned is that personal development sometimes can be kind of shallow, right? People throw those quotes around, and I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm sure you know some. If you just drop it below the video, I'll just give you a thumbs up because you know what I'm talking about. People post them all the time. They're like, oh, this is so true. But then they don't know the context of the quote, and they don't know how deep it actually goes. Because those little one-liners, they're powerful. And I started there too. But there's so much more. So much more. So I just want to encourage you to go deeper. And to keep going. Because the more you feed your mind these things, the more happiness you find in your life. I mean, just enjoying a beautiful sunset, which is going to be a little bit here. I don't think we're going to enjoy it together. Unless I talk forever. But I doubt it. My videos are usually pretty short. But you grow so beautifully. I mean, look at that. From the nutrients in the soil. From the nutrients you feed your body too, I mean, I pressed something by accident and I don't know where I left off. But it's hard to hold your phone. Anyway. So I just said I got my results back from my omega-3s, and I thought I was doing pretty good. I changed my diet, and I'm going to do a tightened video about this later, but I think my goldfish are hungry. I see them floating. They're swimming around the pond. I might have to go feed them before the sun goes down. But anyway, I don't know if you could see them. Can you see them? Probably not. There's ripples on the water down there, and they're swimming. They probably hear me. I haven't fed them in a while. They feed themselves, you guys. It's just me giving them treats. But anyway, I don't want you to think I starve my goldfish. They live in that pond all year round. And this time of year, they do slow down because it's getting cold and their metabolism slows way down and they sit at the bottom of the pond all winter to come back in the spring, all happy to see me, and then I feed them their treats. Anyway, where was I? What was I talking about? My omega-3s. So I had changed my diet and I was already taking multivitamins, including fish oil, which I just swallowed the pill really fast because I didn't want to taste the fishy taste. I love fish. But I'm a fish snob. I love fresh fish caught from Lake Superior that I bring home, put right in my frying pan. There's just nothing like it. It's not like the frozen. Even when I freeze them the same day, when I defrost them, it's still not the same as the fresh fish. So good. I like fish, but anyway, I didn't like the taste of those pills, so I would just swallow the whole handful of pills, So I got done taking those and I started my new vitamin regimen, but I'm not starting them all because I discovered that when your omega-3s are off balance, which mine were 24-1, which the ideal thing is 3-1. And I guess a lot of us, because of all the processed foods that we eat and the unnatural carbs like the store-bought breads and, well, even homemade breads, because the flour has been processed and stuff like that. So we're way off balance, and that's why we're so inflamed. And I'm sorry, but that's why we're so swollen looking, right? So, oh goodness. Anyway, but there's a whole bunch of other things that come with it, which look up this stuff yourself, because I am not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist. I mean, all I know is the changes I made in my diet were helping my hormones. I wasn't having any more menopause symptoms. I'm sleeping super well. And I just feel really good. But I was still off balance even after I adjusted my diet. And by the way, if you do that, I would just look up Mary. I tell you over and over again on my videos, Dr. Mary Claver, the Galveston diet. Look that up. Galveston diet. That's what I was doing. Not following it like verbatim. I mean, everybody's body is different. Everybody's tastes are different, and I don't believe in going all hog wild on a diet when because by making small changes, you're more likely to keep them, if that makes sense. So the one thing I do is I eat an avocado almost every day. And I'm taking some premium fish oils that don't taste like fish. It's kind of crazy. The ones I have right now are lemon mint, I think. There's a tutti frutti, I guess, that tastes like bubblegum. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent again. So we were talking about feeding our bodies and our minds so that we can bloom and be strong and beautiful like those trees. Beautiful inside and out. You see a lot of people who are miserable physically, miserable mentally, and gosh, you don't have to live life that way. And I don't want you to. So, I guess that's all I wanted to say. Drop your comments, let me know what you think, if anything I said helped you. If I babbled too much, I hope you didn't stay on and listen to it. If you like my babbling, that's what I want to hear about, okay? So, let me know. And ask me some questions about the things I've done, because I've learned, I can't tell you, I surround myself with learning and growing and feeding my mind and changing the way I feed my body too, because it's all important. Your health, your wealth, your spirituality, your mind, all of it. And your life could be so much better if you just grow in all 3. 4? I don't know, whatever. I'll give you one more last look of the yard and the sun going down. If I sit here and I catch the sunset, I'll take a picture and I'll put it at the end of this video. I don't normally edit these videos, but I will if I catch that, if it's a pretty sunset. But there aren't any clouds, so it might just be the sun going down behind the trees. Anyway, I'll give you one last look and then I will see you next time, okay? So here.